This is KGW News at Sunrise.
They enjoy this whole roller coaster and of, oh, we're going to do this and end this homeless situation, but yet it never gets done.
There has been plenty of talk from local lawmakers about addressing the homeless crisis. Everyone from Oregon Governor Tina Kotek to Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler. We're now hearing about Multnomah County's plan and reactions from the community about the county's suggested strategy.
There's a new center in Portland for Native Americans who are struggling with opioid addiction. We'll look at some of the holistic methods it uses during treatment.
And there are a couple new millionaires in the Pacific Northwest. We'll tell you where a winning ticket was bought in Oregon, but the big winner in Washington State. Someone hit the Powerball jackpot. And we are talking, if you didn't hear, $747 million.
Oh, we heard. We heard.
It is a Tuesday morning on the Sunrise Show. I know a guy who lives in Washington who regularly buys one of those big-time jackpot lottery tickets, but he's at work today, so not a winner.
I'm a horrible person because I see you guys showing an excitement level for the winner, and I'm just sitting there going, well, I'm not happy.
You thought this was your shot, what didn't you?
This time.
Oh, boy, I'm thinking it will never be sold in Washington the rest of my lifetime. I missed my chance. All right, we have clouds. We have rain, a big batch of it. This is going to be sweeping inland. So this is the dry time of your day. Here's a close look at the radar. Starting to see some rain up in Longview, but it's going to be at least a little while yet before it moves down into Portland and Salem. So 48 degrees, comfortable outside. Rain picks up through mid-morning, the rainiest, windiest part of your day, late morning through early afternoon as the front comes in. Temperatures will be in the 40s, so I have lots of those fancy Futurecast movies to show you. That's coming up in just a bit.
All right, Rod, thanks for that update. We do want to get to our top story this half hour. A man is in jail this morning after a standoff with Portland police. The standoff ended at a home in Northeast Portland's Park Rose neighborhood at around 10 o'clock last night. Police say the situation started just before 6 p.m. at Southeast 92nd and Stark. So that's where officers say they tried to stop a vehicle with no plates, but police say the driver sped off. They used a plane to track him and threw down a spike strip near Gleason and I-205 to try and stop him. That's when they say the man ran from his car and eventually wound up at this home near Northeast 122nd and Siskiyou. The people who live in that home got out okay. Police say the suspect barricaded himself in an attic over their garage. Crisis negotiators were called in and police eventually arrested the man, again, just before 10 o'clock last night.
And our other top story this morning, police need your help to find a Gresham man named Wesley Ash. He's 22 years old, but his family says he functions at the level of a 14-year-old and depends on medication. He was last seen around 3:15 Sunday at the Rockwood Library off Stark Street. Police say Ash left without his phone, wallet, or ID. Surveillance photos show when Ash left the library, he went west when he should have gone east. His family thinks he's lost or is with someone he shouldn't be with.
He could be just scared, maybe he's disoriented, doesn't know where he's at. He's very shy, so he doesn't always ask for help.
Ash lives around Northeast Davis Street and 178th. He's described as white, about 5'8" and 145 pounds with light brown hair. He was last seen wearing a dark blue hoodie and black sweatpants. If you see him, call police.
Meanwhile, the Coast Guard is searching for a man who was on board a crabbing ship that went into distress off the southwest coast of Washington. Crews rescued 2 people from a life raft late Sunday night, but here we are more than 24 hours later, and they're still looking for a 3rd person. The ship got into trouble near the entrance to Willapa Bay near Long Beach. Search crews found pieces of that ship that had broken apart.
Multnomah County is rolling out a new plan to address homelessness. The initial goal is to move at least 300 people into housing over the next 4 months. But there are questions about how to pay for that and how this plan fits in with what Mayor Ted Wheeler wants to do. KGW's Blair Best went to get some answers.
It's the latest attempt at getting people off the streets and into housing.
Off and on for the last 15 years.
That's how long Diamond Howard has been homeless in Portland.
It is crazy. I've been on a list for 4.5 years now.
She's currently on 4 housing wait lists.
So bad I can actually taste it. I dream of it, having my own keys to my own apartment.
People like Diamond are the focus of Housing Multnomah Now, the county's latest plan to get 300 people into housing over the next 4 months.
There are apartments already every day on the market.
Dennis Terrialt at the county's Joint Office of Homeless Services says they'll flood certain areas of Portland with outreach workers. The city's impact reduction team will point those workers to the areas with the most camps.
And the outreach workers are going to be there day after day after day after day.
The plan has a price tag of $14 million for 1 year, which will come from unused tax money from the Supportive Housing Services measure.
The County Board of Commissioners allocated some of that funding for rent assistance to prevent evictions, but they left a large chunk of it for this board this year, new folks on the board, new chair, to decide how to spend.
They'll rely on shelters, safe rest villages, and even Mayor Ted Wheeler's designated camping sites, which have yet to open, for where to place people waiting for permanent housing. Meanwhile, they'll offer landlord incentives and rent assistance to speed up the housing process.
If they want a shelter bed, any of those sites, including the city sites, would be available for those folks.
So you say if they want a shelter bed, but we've already run into problems that people don't want a shelter bed.
That's why the end goal is to get folks into housing.
Many living on the streets are skeptical.
They enjoy this whole roller coaster and this whole merry-go-round of, we're going to do this and end this homeless situation, but yet it never gets done.
A part of this plan will aim to stop the cycle of moving people from one location to the other, one of the biggest concerns and setbacks for people living on the street.
And it seems like every time I get my shit together and I buy a trailer, the city ends up towing it and taking it from me, so then I'm back to square one.
I think it's good for our community, but most importantly, it's good for our most vulnerable neighbors.
Homeless advocates like Devon Pouncey are optimistic for the plan, but believe housing is just the first step.
And then I think also being able to tack on services to be able to assist them once they get the housing is almost nearly as important as.
The county is urging the state legislature to pick up Governor Tina Kotek's $130 million investment package to address homelessness. That package would help kickstart what the county is trying to do. Blair Best, KGW News.
The mayor's office is responding to all of this. It released a statement saying, quote, the mayor's plan to develop temporary alternative shelter sites is absolutely still moving forward. We plan to announce sites and service providers soon.
Someone in Washington State is now a multi-millionaire. Last night's winning Powerball ticket was sold somewhere in Washington. Don't have a specific city as of yet. Yesterday's $747 million jackpot, by the way, is the 9th largest prize ever. This is the first Powerball winner since November 19th. Like I said, we still don't know exactly where that winning ticket was sold in Washington. What we do know is someone in Oregon is a millionaire. It's not quite as much as $747 million, yeah, but $1 million ticket was sold in Beaverton on Saturday. If you're one of the many of us, I'm sure, thinking about how nice it'd be to be part of that millionaire club, FYI, the odds of winning the Powerball jackpot, 1 in 292.2 million. Those are the odds.
Now, $4 of that is mine. I said earlier. I don't think it's asking too much if you're the big winner to somehow get $4 of that back to me.
Good luck with that.
Have you ever won even a small amount through the lottery round? Because you do play.
I won $30 once.
Oh, okay.
That's your life winnings.
Well, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound like much. But yes.
Okay.
I'm glad it's staying in the Northwest.
Yeah.
Why not?
No, it's cool to see a local winner. Well, we assume it's a local winner. Someone didn't just fly in, buy the ticket here, and fly out.
Oh, that would really be
I didn't even think about that.
Would that put salt in your wounds?
Yes, I would. All right, let's get you going. We have a cold front that marches into town today. Somewhere around early afternoon, it looks like. It's a pretty impressive little front. The only warning or advisory we have is for the Cascades. Snow level 4,000 feet to start, 2,500 feet going into early evening. And it looks like another one that should bring our resort 6 to 12 inches of snow. So that's good news. Okay, here we are right now, raining up in much of western Washington, starting to see rain in Astoria. And in the coming hours, we'll start to see rain push into the inland valleys. Right now, we're dry in Portland, 48, Salem dry in 45, other numbers 39 out in Bend. We will be watching wind today. right now, let's see here. Yeah, Astoria popping south winds to 26, starting to become noticeably breezy, where there's some rain up in Cowlitz County right now as well, I should mention. Southeast winds to 24 for you. Up and down the valley, eventually it will be kind of a breezy south 15 to 30 mile per hour day. There could be some higher wind spikes. Could be a 40 to 50 mile per hour wind later this morning along the headlands or exposed areas at the coast. Here's Futurecast, 8 o'clock this morning. Rain starting to move into the valley. Again, these yellow and orange colors are heavier rain rates. Here we are at noon. This would be the main frontal band right here to the west of I-5. Then that crosses mid-afternoon or so, 3:30. We're behind the front, and that will be scattered showers into perhaps lingering tomorrow morning. Then tomorrow after that should go on to be dry. Forecast models say about a half to 3/4 at the coast, about 1/4 of an inch up and down I-5. This does show more up in Longview, Kelso area, 66 100s. We'll be near 50 today. I mean, it's 48 right now, so temps aren't going to do much. Tomorrow, early shower, then dry. If Thursday stays dry and the clouds, we expect high clouds are thin enough, we could be 55. Then the next storm front is Friday. And then next Monday, there's a front that comes in. It's very possible that you wake up Valentine's morning, Tuesday of next week, and the snow levels for sticking snow are around 1,000 feet, and we could see some snow showers in the air at lower elevations. If that happens, you want to hold your someone tight and keep warm. Okay, back to you.
Rod, thank you. Stay with us. Coming up this morning on Sunrise, a new facility in Portland helping fight the opioid crisis. It's focused on serving Indigenous people, but it's open to anyone who needs help. We'll have more on why this resource is so crucial.